The location here, right up the street, the Wells Fargo Bank. This is Seth Barnes, who's just going to be assisting me today. We're going to go over a little bit about credit and budgeting and basically saving. I know that when I first started my credit, I didn't really have that much guidance. I didn't even know where to begin. What's credit card? How do I apply? How does it work? So we're going to go a little bit over the details of how all that works. Who here has already started their credit? Anybody started it? You have? Okay, great. So good. So a lot of us have. Okay. So has anybody financed anything? Something that's under your name that you're making payments on? No? Are we all first timers? It's like just her? Okay. Well, I do have some cool little budget toolkits that I have here. Do you want to help me test these out? Absolutely. And we'll each get one today. Here, let me give you a few.
Thank you.
And so the good thing about these is I myself am more of a hands-on learner. I can sit here and talk to you all day, but it's probably not going to retain all the information. What I like about these is they have, basically you can actually write down your goals, your financial goals. Basically, what are you spending on? A lot of us like to buy food, eating out. So you can list all the things that you're spending on, really work on budgeting. What are the things that you can cut out? You know, you can notate your income. You know, what are your expenses, and it'll really help you save if you have any savings in mind. So there's that. There's also a little pamphlet that says let's talk about credit. That we'll talk about in a minute. There's another little activity that I like to go over in regards to starting your credit. A lot of this might not apply since only one of us has started credit, but it gives you a good heads up on what we need to focus on to get your credit started and to get you on a better path to make sure that you're improving. Okay, did everyone get one already?
I can get you a minute.
Here, we can do these too.
Sure.
Okay, so if you guys, we're gonna look at the budget toolkit first, so you can put the other sheet and the let's talk about credit on the side. So if you take a look at the left-hand side, there's a financial goals worksheet, so the top left box, and this is basically what are your goals. I know a lot of you were in our 20s right now, so what is it that you're wanting to do? Are you looking to purchase a car? Are you wanting to rent out your own place? Are you still in school? Do you have any short-term goals or long-term goals that you'd like to write down? Please go ahead and do so. Again, I always have a better understanding when I get a visual, so maybe if you guys write it down, it'll give you more of an understanding of what you can work on to improve on your expenses. So we'll just give you a minute to do that. Got a lovely background music.
Few moments.
And I do appreciate your guys' encouragement and following along with me. It works a lot better when everyone's involved. So I definitely would like for you guys to get more of a visual of what we're doing. Has anyone purchased their first vehicle yet? No, just oh, that's good. That's good. That's what we're here for. A lot of us need that, that push, that first start to get you started. So.
I actually just purchased my first.
Did you? Congratulations! What kind of car did you get?
The blue Honda out front.
Oh, okay. Nice. My first car was a Hyundai Sonata too, and I loved it. I'm sad that I got rid of it, but.
Do you guys want this door shut?
Let's keep it. Let's get some air.
Is it too warm in here?
I am naturally always hot, so don't worry about it. It's just
this
me.
It's really funky. Either it's too hot or too cold. So what I do is I will turn it off. If it ends up getting too cold, please let me know and I'll turn it back on.
All right, does anybody have a thing or two on the financial goals? So we can move on to the next section at the bottom when you're finished. And this is, what are some practices that you think will help you reach those goals? So again, I love eating out. I love I can spend $20 on food, but not on a shirt very quickly. So that's one of the things that I would mention and how I can help myself reach those financial goals. I know I do a lot of online shopping. So just a lot of things that are not necessities, just technically what you want. Those would be what you want to include in order to help save for that goal. Hi. Do you want to start your credit too? He's so cute. He's okay. He's fine. And just so that you guys know too, even whether you have an account with Wells Fargo or not, we do have our Wells Fargo online webpage where we have a lot of tools that you can use to help you as well, just to kind of figure out where you're at financially. So it's a free service to all of Wells Fargo. It's a free service to everyone, even if you're not a Wells Fargo customer. It's just like an online toolkit that we have to your access as well. Okay, what are we looking at next? All right, so this next part on the right is where you really break it down there. So it gives you an option to enter how much you're making monthly and how much you're able to save. If you're not currently saving yet, I know a lot of the times we have bills and we're living paycheck to paycheck, but everything that we put on the left-hand side as far as your goals and budgeting, that's what can help you to start with your monthly savings. And this is a very good practice. I know we're doing it here in person, but if you take the initiative to actually take these practices and do them every day, you'll see a difference. Other than that, we can write it down all day, but you won't really see much unless we're active and doing it physically as well. So a lot of us, I'm not sure, at my age, I don't really have half of these bills. I know there's like home mortgage, I do have that one. I guess we do, transportation, food, health. A lot of that can get really pricey. So when it comes to your monthly income and then you deduct all those monthly expenses, you can't really save much until after you've covered all of that. So again, you can always cut down on dining out if that's one of the things that you guys do often. How many of you pay for public transportation? No? We're all good? Okay, good. It's a few more minutes. So can you see? Sorry if I'm stepping out of range.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
And one thing I would encourage you guys to do with this is, I know we're doing it like she mentioned here in person, just this one time for the purpose of the class, but kind of hang on to this, and as the months go by, kind of track how your spending might change and where you might be able to make some changes, and over time you'll see how you'll be able to save a little bit more as you make those changes. You can visualize how you're spending your money.
Probably not a good topic right during Christmas, but New Year's.
No, absolutely.
New Year's, new me. So we can definitely, this can be a financial goal starting the year of 2019.
Yeah.
So yes, we definitely encourage that you keep this so that we can have a fresh start with the new year. Just give them a few minutes to fill it out so that it looks like they're really, How many of you have actually taken the time prior to this class to sit and write down what you're spending, how much you're making? You've done so? Yeah. Sometimes we're like, oh my God, how did I even get through this past month? But when you write it down, you can really see exactly where all your money is going to. And that's the best way to try and get you to save. Okay, looks like a few of us are finishing up. All right, so again, this is just for your personal use. I did want to have you guys actually take the time and do it today. I can give you this packet and you'll go home and probably not even worry about it. But that way you guys can get a visual of what it is that you're mostly spending on. And hopefully this helps you guys keep better track of your finances. Again, it's yours to keep. We would love for you guys to take the initiative to keep reviewing it every month if there's different expenses. Again, we have this online toolkit online as well that you can use. You don't necessarily have to keep this one. And we would love to hear any success stories if you guys have financially been able to improve yourself, if you've been able to save. How many of you bank with Wells Fargo already? You do? Just one? Two? Okay, two. We got two. No, we got to get you guys all on board. We only got two in here. No, so yeah, definitely. My job as a Wells Fargo work advocate is to financially educate and to definitely encourage you guys to save, encourage you guys to, direct deposit. If you have any questions at all, I'm the person to come to in regards to finances, get your credit started. How can I save to buy a car? What will be my chances to better improve my credit? So moving forward towards credit, there is another handout that we have in there for you. It's just a kind of a hands-on handout in regards to credit. It might not apply to many of you because only one has technically started their credit, but it has a few questions in regards to how you're managing it at this moment. And on the left, you can write true or false if it applies to you or not. It might be a lot of false just because we haven't started our credit yet. But that's perfectly fine. We're at an age range where we're trying to still figure it out. How do we get started? How can I maintain a healthy, credit history? So if you guys want to take just a few minutes to fill that part out on the left, you can write true or false on there. And then I will move forward right after. How it smells in here. Do you need a packet, sweetie?
Oh no, I have one.
Do you have one? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I seen him earlier. I see a lot of mixture. Okay, I thought it was going to be a lot of false since there wasn't a lot of credit being started, but that's good. That's good. I'm seeing a lot of trues and false on there, so you have a pretty good idea of how it works. Does anyone like to share one of the things that kind of stood out to you with the options that we have here that you're pretty good at and you stay on top of? Yes.
Checking my credit score.
Okay.
I checked on Credit Karma.
Good. Okay.
And it's pretty good. I was paying. I don't have a credit card. I just do my debit, but I've been paying off some jewelry.
Good. Yeah, you're financing. That's great.
So I just recently paid that off. September.
Good for
I
you.
was paying it off for about a year and a half. So,
Nice. So it definitely helped you out.
Yeah. So yesterday I just got a car. So.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah,
We got another one. What kind of car?
Yeah, I was approved.
Is it the one you just pulled up in? Is it this one?
Yeah, the white one.
Well, congratulations. That's exciting. That's awesome.
I have a quick question. How much did the credit score improve since you know,
With that
in the
time
last
frame,
year
yeah,
and a half,
definitely.
that would be- I'm curious.
A lot. When I first started, I think it was like maybe like around 640. Now it went up a lot.
That's a really good
I'm
score to
little
start
over
with, actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a little over 700 now, so
Good
That's
for you.
awesome.
That's awesome. How old are you?
21.
Oh, that's
So-
awesome. Okay. Good for you.
Yeah, so I was able to get approved for that car. So.
Great. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I was like,
Thank you for sharing that. That's great. And you know what? Building your credit might sound a little bit scary. I know when I first started, no one told me what interest meant. So I completely messed up and I got a credit card that I had no idea had a really high interest and I never paid it off. So I definitely encourage you guys, if you have any questions in regards to credit, please come see us so that we can advise you on how it works before you get stuck paying this big bill that you might never pay off because of the interest rate. But again, he financed something, was able to improve his credit within a year. Why is credit important? If you ever want to purchase your car, buy a home, a lot of the times, even if you want to rent an apartment, they'll run your credit to see, basically they want to see if you're responsible, if you're making your payments on time, they want to see credit history. So we definitely want to get your credit started at a younger age. That way when you're ready to purchase your car or purchase your home or make your big purchases, you already have a score built up. And that, I might say that's amazing. For a year and you're 21 and you're over 700, that's great. So credit will get you to great places. Did anybody else want to share something that stood out to them? One more? No? Okay, that's fine. Do you want to share again?
well, I was gonna say checking your like say you're gonna go get a loan, you check your credit. I heard that them having your credit checked all the time is a bit bad on it, having a hard inquiry.
So it's an inquiry is what it's called. So just kind of depending on what you're applying for, the inquiry that you'd get for applying for a credit card wouldn't be nearly as bad as if you're inquiring to purchase a home because of the amounts that you're inquiring for. So when you run your credit, yes, there will be a credit inquiry on your score. Depending on the amount will determine how much it'll affect your score. Now checking your score can be different. There's a lot of different service providers that will give you a FICO score. That's not necessarily exactly what your score is, but it gives you a good estimate of what you're looking at. So you mentioned you're using Credit Karma. That's great. I use it as well. And what I really like about it is it literally tells you everything. It tells you if you have anything in collections. Are you 100% on your payment history? It gives you methods on how to improve your credit as well. So I know with Wells Fargo, we also give our credit card customers the ability to view their FICO score as well, and we update that monthly for them too. So you can definitely check your FICO score without there being an inquiry. It's when you're running your credit, when you'll see a difference in the score, definitely. Yeah. Did anyone have any questions for me? Yes.
Even if you don't have credit, like would we still be able to check your credit score? Like how would that work?
I know that there's without having the credit card, you can sign up to view your FICO score. We definitely would need all your information, including social and everything. There's a method that you can view it without having your credit card. Yes, through the Wells Fargo app, you would have to be a member of Wells Fargo though. Yeah. So we do offer that, definitely. Yes.
I also have a question, like, let's say you don't have credit, what do you suggest to start out with?
Yes, I did want to go over that. Thank you for bringing that up. I had it in my head earlier, I completely forgot. So yes, the complicated thing to get started is the fact that once you apply for a credit card or apply for something to get you started on credit, they want to see credit history to get you approved. But how do you show history if you've never started your credit? So with Wells Fargo, we do have what's called a secured credit card, and we definitely encourage a lot of early starters to get the secured credit card. The way it works is it is your own cash. Okay, so it is your own cash. You create the line that you want, beginning from $300 to however much you want the credit line to be. Now, the good thing about this card is it does help your credit tremendously because you're not asking the bank for assistance for a credit card. You're more saying, here, I'm willing to put up my money. Here's $300. Let me go ahead and start building my credit. Can you turn it into a credit card for me? Now, it is treated just like a credit card. So once you convert that to a secured credit card, there will be an interest rate charged. It will get treated just like a credit card. Now, the neat thing about this card is that you're using it, say you're using it for a gas card. You're purchasing your gas every month and you're paying it back every month. Let's say a year or two from now, you've already built some history. Okay, and then it's looking good. You can apply for a regular credit card, and once you close that secured credit card, we reimburse your cash. So you're literally borrowing from yourself. Now, a lot of people make the mistake to withdraw the money, like, you know, it was my money anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and withdraw it, or just use it and never pay it back. You don't wanna do that, because once you turn it into a credit card, it's treated like a credit card. So you don't want it to be maxed out, you don't want it to look like an unpaid credit card. So once you're done using it, definitely you have the option of applying just for unsecured credit card, and then we would reimburse you the cash that you started for that secured card. That would have to be done, and we encourage it at a time where you will be financially stable to give up those $300 so that we can turn it into a credit card. Now, I wouldn't advise to do the secured credit card and then automatically use the $300, because we always encourage our customers to stay at a 30% balance of the line. So say you do it for $300, of course you can use it all if needed, but it looks good to the credit bureaus for you to have a 30% or lower balance, because your debt to income ratio. Does anybody know what your debt to income ratio is?
30% or 10%.
So your debt to income ratio, it's basically how much your monthly income is and how much you are in debt. So your debt to income ratio, say you're making $500-600 a month, but you have a credit card that's maxed out for about $400. Your debt to income ratio is going to be a little higher than what. So basically, it looks like you have more debt than what you're making. You want to keep your debt to income ratio below 50%. So when we give you a credit card, you apply for a secured credit card, even though the line is $300, don't go use all the $300. You want to use just about $100, $150, pay it back, and keep doing it that way. That way you don't have a maxed out credit card. You're making your payments on time, and you're keeping the balance below 30%, and that looks great. So definitely something to keep in mind if you want to begin your credit. I know a lot of the times we get applicants that want to start credit and they'll apply for a regular one, and for whatever the case may be, it'll say not enough credit history. So at that point, you have to have good credit history to prove that you're responsible, you know, making your payments on time. So secured credit card is definitely a good option for first-time credit starters. Yes. Any questions on that, Colin?
If I can ask you guys a question real quick, are any of you guys students by any chance? So another way to get your credit started as well, if you are not able to put up that $300 up front, if you're a student, Wells Fargo does also offer a student credit card specifically designed to help build your credit and help out with those college expenses. And it does start out with a lower limit, usually between $300 and $1,000 is what I see with those starting out. Just because it is designed for people who don't necessarily have credit. So that is another option for you as well with us. If you don't have credit yet and it's something that you're looking to build, if you are a student, that's another route that you can go.
Yeah, the school credit cards are great, and again, the limits are lower, but because you're in college, they'll give you different rates as well. I just did want to throw in there though, it does vary which college, because I know that Wells Fargo partners with certain colleges, and recently I was able to find out that BC is not one of them, unfortunately, but it's more like universities and stuff like that, so we have that to offer too. It just depends on what university, and we can go over those options if it's something that you'd be interested in. Any more questions? No? Anybody get anything out of it? I hope we were able to give you some type of new information today. It looks like some of you are very well informed already. Again, congratulations to you. That's awesome. I like to see that you guys are getting started. I'd like to make myself and Seth available to you. We are right up the street if any of you needed to have a financial review, or if you wanted to have more of like a one-on-one conversation, you have something more on the personal side that you want to work with in regards to your finances, we are definitely available to you guys. We'll stay here for about another 10 minutes, just kind of on the side after the meeting. If you guys want to talk to us one-on-one, we can definitely be available for you then as well. Okay?
Okay.
I was just letting them know we can be available to them if they wanted to have like a one-on-one conversation, or if they wanted to make any appointments for right down the street. I can take appointments today. But I hope that you guys enjoyed it. You know, it might have been new information, it might have not, but I wish I would have had someone to tell me how it works when I was first started. So I hope that you guys take the initiative to keep this with you. Again, start a new year on the right track, and I look forward to seeing you guys again.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys again so much.
Thank you.
Little goodie
I
from
appreciate
Common
it.
Coffee.
Thank
Have a very
you.
Merry Christmas
You too.
and a Happy New Year.